frozen up.
Oh
Oh, here we go. All right, we're live here at the station of decapitation without your head. I am Nasty Neal.
no. That would make me terrible, Troy.
I'm Treacherous Trista.
And we're joined by Art the Clown himself. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing well. I guess you can call me Devious David.
I like
Devious
that.
David, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I like it. It's very fitting.
Works for
Come
me.
prepared.
Yeah.
All right. My laptop's completely
I like Neal in that frozen still shot. I think that's kind of cool.
He was frozen today.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's technology for you right there.
Yeah, that'll teach you.
Oh yeah.
Never trust it.
2020.
Oh, all right. Sorry
There
about
we
that. I
go.
don't know. Hopefully this works. Yes. All right. Yeah.
We can
All right,
hear you,
everything's
but you're-
Yeah, we hear you fine, Neal. It's just you're frozen in that like profile. I like that.
Oh, you can't. I'm not moving on the
No.
video now anymore either.
No, sorry.
It could be worse. You could be like going, or something
Yeah,
like
it
that.
could be
Be
like-
That's true. They didn't catch you in mid sneeze or something like that.
No, that's true. Yeah,
What can you do? What can you do?
You look lovely, Neal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good profile. I like it.
Oh, did we? Oh.
Oh no. Now we
oh,
can't hear you.
okay, I'm
either.
back here. Yeah, this
Okay,
is
now-
not
Oh,
good.
okay, all right,
This is
good.
not good.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we're here with David Howard, Devious David. Hopefully this goes better here. as
Yeah.
we go on. Everything's working smooth here a minute ago.
Yeah, that's how it always goes.
So yeah, it's a couple years since we had you on, and last time
Yeah.
we had you on, the movie started to take off, Terrifier.
yes.
So, but what's that been like to really it's become, I always say, an iconic horror character of modern time.
Yep.
It's been a crazy ride these past 2 years since we released. It's been pretty cool. I can't complain.
What's it like?
Uh-oh. Is
Well,
he there?
we can
Oh.
ask you questions until Neal comes
Yeah,
back.
that's
until he
fine.
comes back.
Yeah. So, I guess people probably don't really recognize you without makeup on, huh?
Yeah, that's I guess that's a benefit of this in a way, because I can walk around and people don't know who I am. So you get that little bit of anonymity. It's been on rare occasions where someone's recognized me. So I'm just like,
Wow.
oh wow, I'm really impressed. Like, you must have done your research.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Because I'd see if you had like the worst dental work in the world, and they're like, "Oh my God, you must be Art the Clown."
Yeah, it's like, oh god, you got Giuliani teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh no. Oh, it's like, remember to floss, kids. Gingivitis is a silent killer, just like art.
Right.
Exactly the same.
Oh yeah. Because I've gotten that question before. I was like, are those your real teeth? What do they do to your teeth? Like, oh god, no. Oh no. Those are prosthetics they put in. But
Real gums though.
oh no, those aren't the gums either. It covers up the gums and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you again. This is good.
Yes. He's back
Yes, yeah.
for now.
Yeah.
Is that one of the harder parts of the costume, the mouth?
I would say so, because number one, it makes me drool a lot, which sucks, and because like the makeup we have been using is gelatin based, so when you have a lot of liquid hitting it, it starts to like break it up and dissolve, and so the mouth area, especially because I do so many facial expressions and stuff like that, so that falls apart very easily on its own. So you have the little bit of the drool and stuff like that, and also when it's been cold, when we've been filming, my nose will start to run, and I can't blow my nose or anything because of the makeup. So you might have seen some behind the scene photos where I have Q-tips up my nose. So I was doing the COVID test before anybody was doing that. So
You started all that stuff.
I started it. So it's just It's kind of funny. Is like we were filming all that, with me walking around with the Q-tips before they started doing all the COVID testing. I'm like, oh boy, we were ahead of the game, I guess there. But but I think Damien just came up with a new makeup concept for me. I think we're going to be using a foam latex mask from now on, which should hold up a lot better because we've usually had to do all my close-ups first. So, if the makeup gets destroyed, it gets destroyed after we do all the close-up stuff, so we can just throw blood on it, as Damien usually says, to cover up it for the distant shots and stuff like that. That's the biggest pain in the butt with the whole makeup would be the mouth, because it just likes to fall apart, and you just don't know from day to day what it's going to do. Some days it's not going to fall apart at all. Other days it's just constantly just falling apart, and I look like, like I've gotten like put through a meat grinder or something like that.
But for that character, it probably works.
Yeah, it does. And if we have to, fix anything, we'll like Damon. We call it going to triage, where he'll like cut up pieces of bald cap and like glue it to my face,
Okay.
and then like paint over it and stuff like that. So he's kind of like a MacGyver when it comes to anything going on wrong. We've had so many moments on set where it's not just my makeup, other things will like he'll build a prosthetic and it doesn't work the way we need it to work. He's like, he'll just go away for like 2 minutes. He's like, okay, I know how we're gonna fix it, and boom, boom, boom. It's just, the guy's a freaking genius when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Did you know Damien before Terrifier?
No, we met during the auditions, and we hit it off. It was just, especially with the makeup cheer, because he does all my makeup for me. He doesn't want anybody else to do my makeup. It's all him. And so we've had like hundreds of hours now on that chair together between the two films, and also doing conventions. So it's like we've gotten to know each other very well. We're like brothers now.
Yeah. What were the auditions like for Art?
Very different from your typical audition, I would say, that I'm used to, because Art doesn't talk. So I went in there and I was never given a script, and I kind of freaked out because everybody else in the room had scripts in their hands. I'm like, oh God, because it was my first time auditioning for a feature film, a lead role in a feature film too. So I was like, oh no, this sucks. Oh no, I'm gonna embarrass myself. And I go in the room. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, I never got a script. My agents never sent me anything. They're like, oh no, we didn't send one. You don't need one. The Art doesn't talk. I'm like, okay, so what do you want me to do for this audition? They're like, oh, just improvise a scene where you decapitate a guy and you're happy about doing it. That's all they gave me. And they're like, go. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I had to, this is where I think it's important for every actor to have some kind of training in not improvisation, because you never know when you're going to get thrown into a moment like this, where you just have to go with your gut instincts and think on your feet. And I just came up with this scene where I like cartoonishly snuck up behind my victim, knocked him out, took out like a hacksaw, taunted him a little bit, then sawed off his head, picked it up, tasted the blood, didn't like the taste of it, so I take out a salt shaker and season it. Then taste again. I'm like, give it a thumbs up, kind of bathe in the blood a little bit, and then like skipped out on my merry way. And that's what they got me the part. They're like cracking up by the end of it, and they're like, so can you come in for a makeup test? I'm like, yes. So that's
tremendous.
Yeah, it's one of those like every actor's like time of dream auditions where you go into the room and you basically know you have the part when you leave the room. Because I know when they've done other people for especially for Terrifier 2, casting the leads in Terrifier 2, they had to come back from multiple auditions. They were put through the gauntlet, and I just went in, did my thing, walked out, and had the part. It was wonderful. I wish it was always like that.
Yeah.
For the character like that, since you are, mute in the movie, for like all your scenes, how much of that is written out, like your mannerisms and stuff, or is most of that left up to you?
A little bit of both, I would say. It's he basically there's certain scenes where Damien writes down exactly what he wants to happen, especially when it's the scarier stuff, the kills and everything. He knows what he wants. Other times he especially with part 2, knowing how I work on set, because I like to just play around with things, especially with the more comedic bits in it. And so he wrote some scenes where he's like, okay, Art's in this situation and Art plays around. And so it's those things where it's like, okay, we'll just figure it out once we get to the location and we see what you have to work with, which is kind of fun because it's like, oh, cool. And I had, there are especially 2 big scenes in Terrifier 2 where I really got to just like use my surroundings and just play around with what I had there. That was a lot of fun. I just kind of looked at what I had around me, and I'm like, I came up with a routine, and I'm like, I just showed it to Damien real quick. He's like, that's fantastic. Let's shoot it.
Did you kind of capture like how you would play Art like right away?
Pretty much, because I had a I was fortunate enough to have another actor to follow. I had Mike Gianelli from All Hallows Eve, so I was able to watch his original performance, and so I got the basic nuances of the characters, basic mannerisms, how he goes about his way and stuff like that. So I had that to build off of, and then I added more of the physical aspect to him as well, because I more the clowning aspect, because that's more my area of expertise. So it was fortunate in that way. I didn't have to just totally make him up as I went along. But I mean, I think I still probably would have pretty much done the same thing anyway. But it was good to have a frame of reference. I kind of like to say I kind of Kane Hoddered it, because Kane kind of took the guys that came before him and just added his own thing on top of what they had done.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah.
Is there any ill will on his part for he didn't do the role, he didn't do Art for Terrifier, and then Terrifier takes off?
Not that I know of. It's just like Mike. I've never actually met Mike in person yet. I'm still wanting to. Yeah, but I was like, we've chatted online and stuff like that, and so there's no ill will at all. It's just, Mike was just one of Damien's really good friends, and he didn't really want to go into acting professionally or anything like that. He wanted to do other things with his life, especially he also didn't want to go through all the makeup process again as well. I think that was just pure hell for him, and so he decided not to come back for it. And that, I mean, I think Damien was more freaked out at first and about it, because he was like, oh god, this is the character this whole entire movie depends on. I lost my guy, so I have to find another person to step in and fill in for him. But like, I mean, as far as I know, there's no animosity at all. It's just, and I always try to give Mike all the credit he's due, because as like the guy is the original Art. He set the foundation for me. He did a fantastic job, I think, with the character.
Alan says here in the chat, he says that was the first time he's seen Kane Hodder used properly as a verb.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think Kane would approve.
Yeah.
I can hear him
since
now.
You've been doing the convention. I'm sorry to interrupt. Since you've been doing the conventions, I assume you meet a lot of those guys. And
yeah,
what do they think of the movie?
That was the thing I was so afraid of. It was because when I first started doing conventions, Damien and I were the new guys, and we were so shy. We were afraid of even talking to these guys, because they're legends to us. These are the guys we grew up watching, like Kane and C.J. Graham and Robert Englund and Bill Moseley and Sid Haig and all these fantastic actors. And I kind of had that idea in my head, like, oh god, they're gonna look at me and like, who the heck does this kid think he is, trying to muscle in our territory? He's we are the legends and everything like that. So I was so nervous. I was like, oh god, they're probably gonna just be looking at me with like derision. It's like, who does he think he is?
It was your carry at the prom moment, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. And it was the total opposite. They all fully embraced us. They're like, "Oh, welcome." It's like Bill Moseley at the first convention we're at together. He comes over to me. He's like, "Hey, David, glad to meet you. I love the movie. Can you can I get a copy? And can you autograph a copy for me?" And I'm like, "What? Are you kidding me?" That was what was amazing. But they all embraced us. They're like, "Yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome." And we've, that's what's been really cool is like, I mean, we've done so many conventions together with these guys, and they've kind of become like, second family to us in a lot of ways. They've, given us tips and tricks and stuff like that as well. It's pretty cool. They're all really good guys.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It would be cool. I know, you just had Terrifier and work on Terrifier 2, but it would be cool to see you guys work together in the future.
Yeah, well, there's some projects I'm going to be working on soon. I know we have a few horror people involved with Terrifier 2, and like Felissa Rose and Tamara Glenn. They have little cameo roles, which are a lot of fun. Like Felissa is basically my convention mama, as I call her. It's just like we've done so many of these things together. We're always doing karaoke and stuff like that at these things, so we have so much fun. And we're going to actually be working on 2 other films starting early next year as well. That Time's Up, and which is with Damien Maffei and Elsie Holt. Damien was in Strangers to Pray at Night and Haunt, and Elsie was in You're Next. So they have that. They wrote a small little role in there for me. So it's just going to be like 2 days of shooting with them. It's going to be fun. And then I leave to go do another. I think we're gonna hopefully get a franchise out of is called Stream. It's with some of our Terrifier people. The Fuzz on the Lens guys are exterminator that I decapitated in the film of the 2 cops. They've done some other films like Abnormal Attractions, and they're also helping us on Terrifier.
Yeah, I had them on the show for that.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love the guys, and they have this fun concept called Stream. I wish I could describe it more, but we don't want anybody taking our ideas and stuff like that. But they've got a lot of some good names in the horror world involved with this movie. I can at least name one of them. It's Jeffrey Combs is going to be playing I would say the main antagonist of it. So that's going to be fun. Oh, I know. I'm excited because he's.
You don't need to say anything else, I don't think.
I'm going to be besides myself. I'm just like, I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, because he's such a great character actor. And I'm looking so much forward to just watching him work, because I love working with people like this, because I'm learning from them. I think that's every actor's dream, is be in a room full of, great actors like that. Cause it's like, oh wow, I can learn. I'm like a sponge when it comes to people like this. So I'm very excited about filming these movies. It's add to my repertoire, I guess you could say. I get to play a villain in that one as well, but he's basically my boss, I guess you can say. So that's gonna be kind of cool.
Yeah. See, Ashley here in the chat. She wants to know how long did it take to complete the mouth teeth prosthetics each time it was applied?
The whole makeup takes about around 3 hours, give or take. It might take a little longer when we have to do all the battle damage and the blood and all that kind of stuff. But because it's one big huge prosthetic that's glued to my face, so that's the most time consuming part, is making sure every square inch of my face is glued, because I'm actually using a mask molded off of Mike Gianelli's actual face, because Damien tried to do a mold of my face, but the mold that he sculpted did not come out exactly as he wanted it, and the original just looks so much better. So he's got to really work to get the mask to fit my face instead of Mike's face, but it works. You wouldn't know it. He's just that good.
Very good. Trista, do you have another question?
Yeah, it sounds like you're a pretty big horror fan. I'm wondering what some of your favorite films are.
Oh gosh, I love so many. There's so many good ones out there, but I would say like my top 5 are all classic ones too. It's in no particular order. It would be like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Exorcist, Omen, Halloween, and Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 Dream Warriors. But there's so many other ones. I love the Scream movies. I love all the Jason movies. I love, gosh, Final Destination, Babysitter, all this. There's so many out there that I just love watching. It's just, I like to escape, and I like a fun horror film.
Yeah. So was that your main genre? Like, before you got into movies, that you like to watch horror movies?
I watch everything. I'm just an entertainment junkie. I will watch a romantic comedy 1 second, then I'll watch someone getting disemboweled in a movie the next second. As long as it's got a fun story.
They don't have to be mutually exclusive, right?
No, not a no. Imagine, Terrifier's a little bit of a rom-com too, with the whole pizzeria scene with the ring and all that. He liked it, so he wanted to put a ring on it. So then he got, dumped, and he's like, okay, you're all dead.
That would be a good trailer for someone to cut Terrifier trailer and make it into a romantic comedy trailer.
That would, if someone had, I kind of think someone might have already done that. I'm not sure, but if they haven't,
I thought I had a good idea here, but yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember, but that would be a great idea, though. You just have some cheesy early 2000s and late 90s rom-com music playing over it,
Right.
That would be fun.
It definitely would be. Thanos says I'm sure you get this a lot, but he loves the saw in half scene, when he saw the woman in half.
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder, what was that like to film?
That was actually not a lot of fun to film because it was a very cold night. It was like 20 degrees in that room. We had no heat in there, and I was miserable. And I know Catherine, who played Dawn, had been so much more miserable than I was because she was having to do all that upside down and naked. And so I was, I'm usually, joking around on set in between takes and stuff. That night I was not joking around at all because it was such a dangerous stunt that we were doing with her because she was really hanging upside down, and that's not really good for the human body to go through. And we'd only let her hang upside down for 30 seconds at a time. They would swing her up and let her rest. But that only gave us 30 seconds at a time to film. So it was very stressful. So we had to swing her down. They're like, and go, and okay, and cut, and swing her back up. And we didn't have that luxury of being able to really experiment as much because we're just so worried about the time and taking care of her and making sure she was okay. But it looks awesome. I would say the more fun part was when I got to saw the prosthetic in half, though. I actually got to saw through that thing, so that was fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And not to spoil Terrifier if no one's seen the first movie, but I assume that if you're watching this, you've probably seen the original Terrifier. But it ends to set up, that Art's alive or whatever he is, and that there'll be more of them. So how early on did you guys want to do the second one? Did you know then, if this goes well, we would like to do more of these?
Yeah, we did because we love the character so much, and we think there's so much more to tell about him. And when we were even filming Terrifier 1, we were spitballing ideas of where we thought we could go with things, and we've changed ideas so many times over the course of when Terrifier 1 was filming. By the time we started filming Terrifier 2, so many ideas and stuff been put on the wayside or the back burner for possible in the future, but we definitely want to do something. We just weren't sure if we were going to be able to do it because we didn't know how it was going to be received, everybody, because we were trying to be honest with ourselves. Sure. Because we were a very low budget independent film. We're like, oh, well, who knows if anybody's actually going to even see this thing. So we were pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I remember, not taking any credit or anything, but I remember early on when it came out, I was really praising the movie on the show because we get to see a lot of stuff early on, and not a lot of people were talking about it. Then it really blew up, which made me happy. It's like, oh, but the point is it really is a word of mouth movie where people talked about it online and more people saw it.
Yeah, that's really what it was because we didn't have the Hollywood, publicity engine behind us. All these other movies get, spend millions of dollars for advertising and publicity for their films. We didn't have any of that. All of ours came from the fans themselves and, podcasts like yours and, horror fan sites just spreading the the news about the movie. It was all that word of mouth, and that's how we got picked up on Netflix. And once we got Netflix, it just boom, really exploded because it was easily accessed by so many people, and it came out right before Halloween that year in September of 2018 on Netflix. And that's when I think we really hit the zeitgeist, where like all these celebrities were even like commenting about it from all walks of life. It was like, you know, from the wrestling world with like Chris Jericho, and then
Yeah,
you
I was
had
gonna bring that up because I'm a big wrestling fan.
yeah, like Chris was talking about it. Then you had like Lily Reinhart from Riverdale talking about it. And I was like, what? So it was hitting so many different audiences because of that. And all these people, I mean, people are still discovering it, which I think is extremely, you know, cool. Is we're no longer on Netflix because their contract went out, but we just got put on Tubi recently. So more people are discovering us on Tubi now. So it's really cool how that goes.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Tubi, by the way.
Yeah.
They have a lot of independent horror on there.
They
a lot
really
of everything,
do.
but if you're a horror fan.
Oh yeah, I've been having fun watching stuff on there.
Now you mentioned Jericho. I don't know how big of a wrestling fan you are, but before he went to AEW the last couple of years, and when he was in Japan, he wore makeup, and he says that was actually inspired by by Art the Clown.
Yeah. It's just like, are you kidding me? That's what's been so surreal about it. You know, like Chris has basically become part of the Terrifier family now. It's I did a convention down at Atlanta back in, I guess, last year, and he came over to me. He's like, Dave, hey, a huge fan. I'm like, oh my God, you? He's like, yeah, can you come on my podcast? I would love to talk about the movie with you. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And you know, ever since then, you know, like he's, you know, he and Damien talk a lot and stuff like that. I've been chatting with him a lot, and it's been pretty cool. So he's excited about part 2 as well.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Yeah.
Trista, another question?
Yeah, so I saw that you're working on the Dark Offerings, and
Yes.
we had them on the show recently as well. Yeah, so I'm wondering if you can talk about that at all.
Yeah, who did you have on there?
Good point.
Like we had Marcus? A lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Great.
Yeah, we had like a big cast and crew.
Yeah, they added me about a month ago to it. They Marcus, you know, the creator of it and director, he's part of our Terrifier crew as well. He's come and helped us on set a few times for Terrifier 2, and so I love them all. It's just it's kind of funny because a lot of our Fuzz and Lens guys are in that as well. So it's like we have our own family that we're building in the horror community, and they're like, hey Dave, we wrote a little scene for you if you want to come in and shoot. I'm like, yeah, sure. So I'm at the very beginning of the film, so it's a fun little scene for me to do. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it was fun. And I think it's a cool concept too that they did this exclusively over Zoom during the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah, and we can't tonight because I'm frozen, but sometimes we steal their idea where they do Marcus had an idea where everyone looks into the camera and does, you know, whatever emotion he thinks of, and then everyone does it. And I think it's a very fun idea, so we stole it.
Oh,
but
that's
give
really
him credit.
Cool. Yeah. Well, Marcus is a smart guy.
Yeah, I'm really
looks like Trista's frozen right now too.
Really?
Oh no.
Yeah. It looks, at least on my end, it looks like you're frozen.
I'm not frozen to me.
Oh, okay, now you're good. Okay. You never know.
Very oddly enough, I'm not frozen to myself either. I took a selfie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I can see that I am on the YouTube.
That's weird. Who knows? Yeah. Yes, luckily when we were filming my scene, we didn't have that problem, so that was good. And I have to say that was very interesting filming that way, because I was having to interact with 2 other actors, and so we're all having to do that over Zoom. It's because I've never done it that way, and it's a different feeling not actually having the actor in the room with you in that regard. So you really have to really pay attention, because you're having to pay attention to the monitor and like, okay, because I'm not used to actually looking at the camera when I'm acting. That's usually, don't look at the camera, Dave. And I don't know how many times that's happened on set. Like, yeah, you looked at the camera like, son of a. Son of a. But yeah, that was the one time where I could. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Thanos wants to know. I assume the answer is yes, but honestly, will there be a lot of gore in Terrifier 2?
Oh yeah. I think
We're
we're
going a
gonna.
different direction.
Oh yeah, we're batting for the swinging for the fences in part 2 when it comes to the gore and everything like that. It's like that, especially with the beginning of the film. Like Damien's whole philosophy is like a movie has to start off with a bang and end with a bang because that's what everybody remembers about movies. It's like the middle can be good too, but if you have a good strong beginning and ending, that's what's going to really resonate with people. And so that's what we've done with this. And I would say like the first 5 minutes of the film would probably get us an NC-17 rating with the gore. It's brutal. Yeah. Oh my God. It's
giggle
insane.
makes me very happy.
Oh, we were giggling so much while we were filming it because we're just like, oh my God. We're like looking at the playback. We're like, oh, that's horrible. It's gonna make people just go, ooh, oh boy. So yeah, we're not pulling back at all.
When I first saw Terrifier and I told people, I was like, it really feels like an 80s slasher movie if they weren't like censored at all. Because you always hear like, all the Jason movies, they had to cut like the gore out and all stuff. To me, it felt like, something like that. But everyone was fine with as much gore in it as you could put in without cutting.
That's what the fans want. That's what you go to these movies to see. You want to see these crazy over the top kills because you know it's not real. So it's just like it's right. Yeah, it's not really gonna impact people in that way. People are always like, oh, it's gonna lead to more violence. Like, no. It's everybody knows this is make believe. It's all in fun.
Mm-hmm. I always think kind of the opposite is like the more over the top it is, the less real it seems. Like when it's really over the top, I think it's actually, it's less disturbing in a way.
Yeah. Now we're not going cartoonish with
kind of feel.
Yeah. Right. We don't want to go cartoonish with it. So it's like, but it's the gore is there. Trust me. It's like the scene my last scene I'm filming is I think it's going to rival the hacksaw scene. And we started filming the first part of the scene back in February before we had to bring all the prosthetics in because Damien had to then go and build the prosthetics. Then COVID happened, so it's delayed everything. But just that little bit that we filmed, just the very beginnings of the kill, one of our crew members had to go excuse himself from the room because he was getting woozy. And this is a guy that's a huge horror fan, and so like we're like,
guys working on Terrifier.
Yeah, we're like, Leo, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I just gotta go sit down for a second. This is getting to me. I'm like, wow, then we're doing it right.
Alan wants to know what did the prop department put in your bag to give it weight?
Oh gosh, it's changes a lot. But sometimes it's newspapers and a lot of that kind of stuff. Sometimes I've actually had real garbage in there. We've just used a real garbage bag.
Oh wow.
It's just whatever we can.
Somewhere.
Yeah, that actually happened. There was especially one night in part 2 when we were filming. We're like, oh crap, they got the wrong garbage bags. And we're like, oh God, what do we do? And we're like, well, they're putting garbage on the street right now for the trash collectors to come by. So we'll just grab one of those bags out there and use it. And that's what we did.
I love it.
Yeah.
So how much have you filmed a part 2?
Oh, we're pretty much done. I just have this one last scene to finish up and I should be done. And I think that's going to be it. Unless there's some pickups or something like that. So we were almost done when the pandemic put us in shutdown back in March. We had maybe like 2 weeks left to film, but it's like we've had to film all the rest of that off and on for the rest of the year when we could, because we had to wait for New York State to open up and allow filming to start up again and stuff like that. Because, we have to obey all the SAG rules and all that fun stuff as well. But we're getting there. So we're hoping for at least release sometime early mid next year.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
That was a question that came up a lot when you think it would come out.
Yeah.
Joe just adds, please don't kill me.
Oh, there's no promises there,
So-
man. No promises there. You got to catch chart on a good day.
AJ, well, this is an interesting question. He wants to know if Art was always a clown, what made Art turn evil, and you probably don't want to answer all that, but
Yeah.
have you yourself ever thought of the backstory of Art?
Oh yeah. That's something like Damien and I have really started to come up with together. My first day on set, I approached him like, so Damien, being the actor that I am, I'm like, okay, tell me everything about this character. What's his deal? What's his motivation? Where does he come from? What's his backstory? Blah blah blah. He's like, I don't really know. It's like he's just a killer clown. But it's like, let's come up with that together then. That's gonna be our homework. We're going to discover that together then, and that's what we've done over these years. We've really started to flesh out his backstory, and I don't know how much of that we're actually going to put on screen, but we know who he is now, and we offer some clues in part 2, but we're still not flat out telling everybody who he is and why he does what he does. We still want to leave a lot of that as a mystery, because that's part of the fun of the character. You got to have a little bit of mystery behind him. It's I kind of look at the Joker origin story, where it's like, yeah, how he became Joker, when he was Red Hood and fell into the chemicals, but you don't really know who he was before that. It's like they play around with that a lot, where even Joker's like, yeah, if I sometimes remember my past one way, sometimes another. If I'm gonna have a past, might as well make it multiple choice. And I think that's what makes those kind of characters more intriguing. It's like, okay, what drove them down this path? And so, who knows? We might show some more of that, but I know where he comes from.
Mm-hmm. And I assume that helps, just playing the role, even if it's not on camera.
That's why I wanted to know that, so I know what's going on in his head. I want to know his thought process, is why he's doing what he's doing. So, because I like to, even though I'm not speaking when I'm doing all my actions, I'm actually doing lines in my head. I'm actually talking in my head. So I would be talking to my victim at the time.
What did your friends and family think of the movie?
That a lot of them have loved it. Some of them are like, haven't watched it yet, because they're like, I have some friends that are deathly afraid of clowns. And they're like, I just can't, man. And I'm like, I understand. It's just tell your friends. Tell your friends, please. They're like, okay. What was really funny, my sister is I'm mentally and physically handicapped, and she was living in a very Christian group home at the time down in Alabama. And they decided to watch the movie one night, and I wish I had told her. I was like, oh, you might not want to do that with that group of people. Ooh. But she wanted to watch it because she's like, this is my baby brother. And she calls me up right after. It's like, so we watched the movie. I loved it, but everybody else is like, they're very freaked out by you now. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure of that. Let them know I'm just your baby brother. I'm not like that in real life, It's like, okay. It's like, that was very bloody. I'm like, yeah. It's like, I didn't want to see your naked butt either. It's like, I used to put diapers on that butt, and now I have to see that on screen. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Before we're live, I was telling you, I watched with my mom, or Troy and I, mom, if you don't know, Troy and I are brothers. And I thought, the big saw scene would be, not that she didn't like that scene, but the scene she liked the most was when you're wearing the woman's chest.
Oh, yeah. That was a very interesting night on set, I would say. That was, oh boy, that was actually Samantha's first night with me on set too. So that was an interesting introduction for her to me. It's like, hi, I'm David, and these are my boobs. Nice to meet you. And I was like, that's how I could tell exactly what type of person she was by her reaction to that. Because some people might be like, oh, okay, what am I involved in? And she just started cackling. She's like, that is freaking awesome. I love it. Yes. I'm like, okay, we're gonna have fun. You're gonna be a lot of fun to work with. And I felt more sorry for our crew though that night because it's all a bunch of guys. They were excited about doing the scene with Catherine, not so much my scene. They're like, oh God, we got to look at Dave's butt all night. I'm like, I know, guys. And we also have a funny story about that too, because like I'm not just wearing the boobs, I'm also wearing my victim's vajayjay. And so I had to put a whole prosthetic over that down there. And Damien calls me up that morning. He's like, Dave, do you have a cock sock? And I'm like, a what? Like a condom? He's like, no, a cock sock, something to wrap up your with. And I'm like, no. Just don't have one of those just lying around in the apartment.
I was just saying, I'd be more worried if you were just like, oh yeah, of course.
Of course. What kind do you need? I have a plethora of them. I have a whole closet full of cock socks. Yes.
Got a plaid one, whatever color you look
for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have 2 for Saturday because it's Saturday. But it was like, well, just bring a sock with you to set. So I'm like, okay. And I didn't think it out. So I brought a bright white tube sock. And I put it on and I glue the prosthetic to me and stuff like that. And I come out and I'm like, I am ready, guys. And they're like, oh no, because the prosthetic was not covering me up completely as much as I tried to. I guess thanks, Dad. But they're like, oh no, there's all that white showing. It's like, Dave, you should have brought a black sock. I'm like, you should have told me, man. I didn't know. So that's probably like the one part of the movie that you see some CG because they had to digitally remove the white.
I don't think anyone is looking that close.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I will be tonight. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like
After the show's over.
Yeah, I was like, and that's how I looked at it. I even said, it's like, if people are looking at that, then I'm doing the wrong job anyway. I'm doing a horrible job acting. If people are going, let's look at his crotch right now. Yeah, that was an interesting night. I had fun with it. I was trying to keep things as light as possible. So anytime I had to go back downstairs and reset, I would sing different songs about butts and stuff like that, like Baby Got Back or Blue Moon or Moon Over Parma, whatever I could think of. It's like I got to keep things light and fun because this is very messed up. Yeah,
this is an interesting question, Thanos. Because you brought up earlier that you sawed through the prosthetic of the body. Did you use a real saw for that part?
Yes, that was a real saw. With Catherine,
it must have taken a while then. If you had to saw through the entire prosthetic.
Well, it was made of like foam, so it went through much easier. Yeah, but it was fun. What sucked though is we had the intestines that we used were made of sausage casings with fat in them, and we were supposed to film the scene 2 weeks prior, but the room flooded, so we couldn't film that night, so we had to wait 2 weeks. And our DP took the sausage with them back home, and he forgot to refrigerate them. He left them out in his garage for 2 weeks, and so we opened them that night to film. It's like, oh God. Oh, it was just rancid. It was rancid. And it's a good thing we weren't filming with sound because you would just heard the crew the whole entire just going, especially because in one part I accidentally cut into one of the sausage casings and then I smelled it. I'm like, oh God. It's like, oh. But yeah, it worked. It looked really cool.
Alan wants to know, can David tell us more about the band and the soundtrack?
Yeah, that's actually my cousin's former band. Yes. Thanks. Was thanks? Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. They oh, she's gonna kill me for that. Oh. But my cousin Elizabeth, she goes by Jimmy. Because her last name's Hendrix, so she likes to go by Jimmy.
Oh,
Hendrix.
nice.
Jimi, because that's one of her favorite artists. So, but she was the lead singer for the band. And at the time, I was like, Damon was looking for some music for the film. I'm like, yeah, this is my cousin's band. You want to hear some of the music? And he's like, oh my god, I love it, because she has that very Amy Winehouse type of sound to her music. And so we're like, yeah, sure. So we got them involved with it, and they got like 2 songs in the soundtrack and stuff like that. Unfortunately, they broke up like shortly afterwards because they all got married and went off on their own ways with life and stuff like that. But they're forever immortalized in Terrifier.
Mm-hmm. Felipe mentions he's much like my mom. Apparently, he says everyone mentions the scene, the hacksaw scene, as their favorite. Mine is when Art is naked trying to simulate a woman with the 6 mile on his face.
Yeah, that's how you gotta go. It's just like there's something in there for everybody, I think.
Right. The whole family can enjoy.
Yeah,
it.
I put that in there for the ladies. That's why I'm still single.
We mentioned off air, Trista is in a movie which coming up with Jenna Cannell from the original Terrifier.
Yes. Good old Jenna.
And do you still keep in touch with Jenna? And by the way, let's talk about music. She's in a really cool music video that came out in October.
Yeah. I do keep. She just had her birthday too. So it's like happy birthday to Jenna too. Jenna. Yeah. It's I love Jenna. I keep on in contact with basically everybody from the first film. I mean, it's like we all got along so well. We were like, there were no egos in either of the 2 films so far. No egos on these sets. So everybody just, got along so well. We all had fun working together, and now like Jenna and Catherine and Samantha and Puya and all these guys are all starting to get invited to conventions now as well. So Catherine and Jenna went to their first convention last fall, and it was so much fun having there with me. And I was like, oh yay, welcome to the world, guys. So it's great. They're just wonderful people to work with.
Yeah. And she's really into squid, which is a very
yes
thing, but
she's squid enthusiast.
Very fun guest on the show. Yeah.
I mean, that's what like, especially those 3, Catherine, Jenna, and Samantha. They're all so freaking talented. They're not just actors; they're directors and content creators, and it's like they put me to shame. And it's like I love them. It's just I love saying that with them.
Mm-hmm. Is it a lot of the same crew on Terrifier 2?
A lot of same people. We got some new people as well. We picked up some more people crew wise, especially we have a awesome makeup assistant. Her name's Jackie, that's come in to help out Damien, which he needed. She does everybody else's makeup and stuff like that. And then Olga, who's helped out with wardrobe, and like the 2 of them also. There was one night where they really impressed the crap out of me. The bedroom that they made for our female lead, Sienna, like the night before we were supposed to shoot, the bedroom was not even really painted. And so none of the set decorations were in there at all. And I almost started to freak out because like, oh my God, how are we going to be filming this tomorrow? There's nothing in here. And they stayed up all night painting the room and then put this whole set together. And it was amazing. It looked like a real bedroom, and like this character is a cosplayer as well. So she designs her own costumes and everything. So she's got her costume station that's all set. It's like the minutia that they put into this set was mind blowing. It's like I don't know how much of it will be actually seen on screen, but like there were so many little Easter eggs in this scene too that just book covers were different references to different horror films and stuff like that. It was so brilliant, and they did that in less than 24 hours, and it was just the 2 of them. And I was like, that's amazing. It's everybody that has worked on this film is this crew are the unsung heroes of this, because like, I mean, yeah, us actors, you see us, but you don't see the work these crew members have put into this. I mean, they're doing more work than I'm doing. They like, I get in there, I do my makeup, and I sit around and wait for whenever they need me, and they're constantly working for 15 plus hours. even Damien too. I'm like, he's not just directing, he's doing all my makeup too. It's just, and then he has to make the stuff for the next day when we're done. So it's just insane. So it's like everybody has been working their tails off for this. It's like I always say, like, the crew members never get the recognition they deserve in film work. It's like they're the unsung heroes.
Mm-hmm. Trista, another question?
What kind of roles excite you? What kind of stuff do you like to play?
I love comedic roles, and I love playing villains. They're just fun. I like quirky characters. I don't really want to play like the romantic lead or anything like that. I like playing weird characters because I can really go crazy with characterizations and stuff like that. I don't care if it's the lead role or if it's just a one scene part. As long as it's something I can do something fun with, that's all that matters to me.
So did you do anything interesting for Halloween? I know this year is a little not really a lot you can do, I guess.
Nah, not really. This year I was pretty much a couch potato. I just stayed in and played some video games and watched some movies on TV and stuff like that. So it was kind of meh. It's not like how it was last year with going out and partying and stuff like that. It's like it was kind of weird not going out and doing anything this year for Halloween.
Mm-hmm. And tomorrow's Friday the 13th, so we're leading into Friday the 13th with Devious David here.
That's a fun day too.
And I do want to mention, I don't want to really make this part of the show, but no, I love Terrifier, not the clown, but I also appreciate your presence online, and you're not afraid to say what you think about the political world or the social world today.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those, I try not to get into it, I usually just try to keep that on my own personal page and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's just like there are times where I think, when you see bad things happening in the world, it's like, as the saying goes, evil triumphs when good people stay silent. Mm-hmm. And so there's things that have been going on and I can't stay silent. And so I say my piece. Because I'm also a former educator as well. I taught elementary school, and I also have a minor in history. So that's also an area that has always been an interest to me. So I like to educate people and let them know what is going on in the world. I think, it's more important to have an educated society. People are, up to date on what is actually happening in our world, because it does impact us in ways that we might not realize. And I'm very grateful for what has been happening recently. I'm relieved, I guess you could say. I was worried there for a second. I was very worried.
Yeah, all of us here are on the same page here. A lot of what you said too, because it's something I would never bring up really on social media, but it comes a point where it's like you can't just not say anything anymore.
Yeah, there. When you have kids in cages suffering, you have 240,000 240,000 Americans that are dead and 10 million sick. It's just like, this is bad. Something's got to change here. I worry about I'm an empath, so I when I see people hurting, I get upset. And so I'm like, this needs to stop. And I'm hoping that we're on our way to getting back to where we should be, being a world leader again and taking care of each other.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And on a lighter note, you got your PS5 today. So what are the go-to games that you've been playing?
Oh, I haven't been able to play anything on it yet, but I did. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna play the first game they have. It comes with the system. It's this it's already installed on the system and stuff like that. So it gives you all the the technical wow of the system and the new controller. So I'm excited about playing that. But then I'm gonna be starting the Miles Morales game, this new Spider-Man game. I'm just like, woo! I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so I'm excited about playing that. And then I'm also getting Assassin's Creed Valhalla I'm waiting for that to come in the mail. So I'm like, yay, because I love the Assassin's Creed. Like I said, history major or minor, but you know, I'm a history buff. So I love those games because they really go in depth with, you know, history. So
That
I'm
game
excited.
looked amazing. I just saw the ad for it tonight.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's
beautiful. It looked actually like a movie, and I was kind of blown away by it.
Oh, it astounds me what they can do with these games now. I like a few months ago, I was playing the game Ghost of Tsushima, and I was constantly calling my roommate in the room, like, dude, look at this. This is beautiful. Like the fog coming in and the light, the moonlight coming through the fog. And I'm like, this is like photorealistic. This is amazing. Because I grew up on the Intellivision. I had that way back in the 80s. So where your character was just a square. You're like, I'm the blue square. The bad guys are the red squares. And that little line is my sword. So it's mind blowing. If I kind of wish I could like go back in time and take the PlayStation 5 with me and show my 8-year-old self this when I was playing NES and go, look what's going to come one day. You think these graphics are amazing? Just wait, buddy.
It's like a 2001 kind of moment. Like you got the apes picking up the bone for the first time, and then this is what will happen in the future from there.
Yeah, the PlayStation 5 kind of looks like a white monolith too, in a way, so that makes sense.
You mentioned Spider-Man. Is there a Spider-Man villain you would like to play?
Oh god, Carnage. Carnage would be a lot of fun. Yeah, he would be fun.
Excellent
but
choice.
Woody Harrelson's playing him, so I'm pretty sure Woody's going to do some great
things.
It's
in safe hands.
Yeah, so I'm like, Woody's fan. He's such a diverse actor. It's just, I love. It's like everything he does is just, mwah. It's just great.
It's weird to think. I remember when he first started to go into movies, and like I watched Cheers, and it's like he's like, I'm like, the guy from Cheers, like, is in movie, and now it's like you wouldn't even think that. I think, he's just the goofy guy in Cheers.
Yeah, it's just like that's what it's like when he started doing like the serious, more dramatic work. I'm like, really, the guy from Cheers? Really? They're like, oh wow, well, no, he's really good. He's really good. Yeah. So it's like, he can play it all. Yeah, I recently watched Zombieland Double Tap, so that was fun. It's like, you can just tell they're having fun. It's like, man, I would love to do a movie like that. That would be such a fun movie to go do.
Are you a fan of Well, you're a fan of all movies, but are you a fan of zombies?
Oh yeah. Zombie movies are fun, and there's so many different types of them too, which is, and actually Damien has an idea for a zombie movie he wants to film too. He's actually pretty much got it written and stuff like that. It's what he's told me about it. It's a pretty cool concept too, because he wants to do something new with zombie movies. So I'm like, yeah, go ahead, because he loves zombie movies, loves them.
Mm-hmm. Similar to clowns, like people love zombie movies and clowns, but that also makes it harder for them to stand out, which you've done successfully with art.
Yeah. So it's like I trust Damien though. He's like, because he's such a huge horror fan himself, so he makes the type of movies he wants to see. So it's just like, those are the types. I've had moments on set where like he's giving me a direction. I'm like, I don't understand why you want me to do this. But okay, it is like the scene in like Terrifier where I'm standing there just frozen, and then I lunge forward. It felt so weird doing that. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, when I first read that, I'm like, what? Okay, and I'm like, what am I doing? He's like, just trust me, Dave. Just trust me. And then he shows me the playback of it, and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, I totally see what you're going for. Okay, yeah, totally trust you. And that's how it's gotten on set now. It's like he just says, I just learn to trust him on things where he's like, okay, this is what I want. I'm like, okay, cool. Then I'll see the playback. I'm like, I totally see what you're going with. That's brilliant. He's like, sometimes he has like a very like Kubrick type of mindset about things. He's into the minutia, where he'll just like they'll have like a bunch of weapons out on a table or something like that, and he's over there just meticulously moving them to different positions. And he knows exactly how he wants them to look on the table. It can be mind numbing at times because like, dude, we got to film. But then you see what he did, and you're like, yeah, I totally see why you did that. Wow.
Mhm. I think it's probably a big reason why the movie connects with a lot of horror fans, especially is like you said, he's given people what he always wanted to see in a horror movie.
I think so. It's when you put the fans in charge of making the films of that genre, that's when you get your better products. I mean, you look at the Marvel movies, that like you have these fanboys that have directed them, and you can tell there's a love that they put in it. It's not like they're just there for a paycheck. They're doing it because they love the content.
Oh yeah, and it so comes through. You just you can so tell on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially like
one of the funnest
Guardians.
memories of me. I'm sorry to talk over you.
Oh, that's okay.
I would say one of my favorite memories of at the movies was with my brother here, Troy, and when Thanos first made just a little cameo at the end of the movie, because Troy has a Thanos tattoo,
That was my
long
first
before
tattoo.
the movies.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
nice.
And so like just seeing how excited Troy was.
I was like a little kid. I just totally geeked out.
Oh yeah, I remember that moment in the theater too. Everybody's like, "Oh, oh, yes!" I love that. So those are the moments I love going to a theater and seeing a movie with a big group of people. Is those moments where people are like, "Yes, awesome!" Those are great moments.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah,
I love.
I mention this every week, but one of the things probably the thing I miss the most right now is like going to the movies.
Yeah. Oh, me too. I'm like, because so many good movies were supposed to come out this year too, and I'm like, like the new Ghostbusters movie was supposed to come out. Hey, damn you, coronavirus! Candyman, Halloween. It's like the new the Black Widow movie is just like, oh my god, so much was supposed to come out. I'm like, well, next year hopefully is gonna be packed with awesome movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be going like every day.
Oh yeah, I will. Oh, I will. I'm a huge movie junkie. I miss having Movie Pass now because when the little while that worked, I was like at the.
Those were the greatest times. True.
Oh man, I was there all the time. It's about a 15-minute walk from my apartment to the movie theater here in Astoria. But
that's perfect. Yeah,
that's awesome. I was there every single day during the summer, basically, just like, okay, another movie.
Yep.
Loved it.
Yeah, then I got the AMC one, and then so you could use it 3 times a week, and you could even use it all in the same day. So a lot of times I would go up to Boston and spend the whole day just watch 3 movies that came out that week.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it.
It was fun too, because sometimes I would see a movie that I might not have seen otherwise because I had that. Yeah, it's like, well, I got that a third movie. I might as well go see this. I might not have seen it, and sometimes it wouldn't work out, but a lot of times it would.
Yeah, sometimes you're pleasantly surprised too with a movie. You're just like, oh, well, I'll see what. I was like, that's how it was like Knives Out last year. And it's like I wanted to go see that on my birthday. I took myself to see it, and I was like, yeah, this looks like, because I love a good whodunit anyway. But I was like, okay, this looks like it'll be cute. And I was like, oh my god, I love this movie.
This is the same way.
This is I was dying. I was just like the whole donut hole spiel. I was like, oh my god, this is brilliant. And because I've never seen Daniel Craig do comedy before, and I was like, oh, he's hysterical.
Yeah, he was perfect. You're right.
Yeah,
that was another one on our list. Death on the Nile didn't come out this year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, I will go see anytime there's a whodunit in the theaters. I have to go. I love a good whodunit.
Trista, you have another question?
Well, do you want to meet David?
Yeah.
It's not really a question about your career, but I feel like David should meet David.
Oh, okay.
I love balls. I'm such a huge animal person, so just like when people bring like dogs to conventions, I go crazy. Oh, he has an art look to him too. I love it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Neal and I were saying that actually.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then We even joked. We were like, "Well, we hope David doesn't think we're like insane people. We just like think that Trista's cat is him."
Yeah, we were saying that you're practically my cat.
That's perfect. I love it.
Well, I'm glad David made an appearance.
Yeah.
Devious David and David the cat.
Delightful David.
Delightful. There you go. Perfect. Where can you? I always say this, but really you can just Google the people. But where can people follow you if they want to see what you're up to?
Oh, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram under David Howard Thornton. And I also have a Cameo page as well. I've been utilizing that a lot during the pandemic because I can't do conventions. So, and I charge the same for Cameo as I do for an autograph at conventions as well. So, I don't want people going broke. It's like, yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. And like you said, you can't be at the convention, but it's kind of meeting you in person in a way. And they can also keep it. Exactly.
And they're fun to do. I've done a lot of birthday ones and stuff like that. So it's been fun.
Very cool. Well, this has been really fun. And I'm sorry that I'm frozen. I'm actually wearing a clown shirt because you're on here, but you can't really see the clown on the frozen picture here. But
dang your technology.
But at least I'm heard here.
Yeah, that's the important thing. That's important.
Yeah, no one really wants to see me anyway, I guess.
Aww.
Or we can say that, Chief.
Right. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those. I say that in hopes that people say, "Oh, we want to see you." No. It was really fun, and we should do it again sometime.
Yeah,
definitely. Thanks for having me on here, guys.
Thank you. Enjoy your video game.
Oh, I will.
Oh, yeah.
And once part 2 comes out, I got to come back because there's going to be so much I'm going to want to talk about.
Can't wait for that.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Oh, it kills me that I can't talk about the movie yet because there's so many fun things that we're doing in it, and I'm just so excited about talking about with people.
Very cool. And honestly, not just because you're here, it's really a movie I'm really looking forward to see.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've all been talking about it for a while.
Well, we've had fun filming it, and I think that will translate well to screen, that we've had fun.
Very good. And that's what we all need right now is some fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
All right, very good. But before we do wrap up, I do want to say thank you to Suze Lanier Bramlett, Todd Farmer, Eileen Dietz, Bill Whedon, John Dugan, and Mark Scheffler. They put together Get Out and Vote videos for us before the election. And
fantastic.
They were great, too. They were all really, really well done.
Yeah, I know Eileen especially is very, vocal as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And also, you can submit your films to Trapped Film Festival. It's coming up next year, and go to trappedfilmfestival.com. All right, well, that's good. All right, we'll see everyone next week. Thanks for doing the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Y'all take care.
You as well. And I'm just going to talk awkwardly here because my computer has frozen up, and I don't know if I can end this.
There's no escape, Neal. You're trapped there for eternity.
It looks like we're still live though.
Yeah. It's not letting me click on any buttons on the.
Oh no! So people are all seeing this right now. Oh no!
All right, Neal. Then I will go. We'll sneak off, and maybe then it will let you leave.